everybody, it's Marcia Whyte with GratitudeSpeak, your life and business coach, talking today a little bit about personal development, because I spent a lot of time on business principles and business practices and applicable lessons that you can use in your life. But I want to dwell just for a few minutes on some personal development, because without a commitment to personal development and broadening your knowledge and whatnot, your business game is going to be way off. And we don't want that, because you need to be on the top of your game to be on the top of your business and your life, because, your life is a very clear part of your business. If you're not well in some capacity and unable to serve, it shows in your business, and the people that you are called to serve deserve better. So for those who are not familiar with me, first of all, thank you to everyone who is watching, whether you are live or on the replay. Appreciate that. I would love for you to share this video out. That's really important, because even though everything that I stream about may not touch you at that time, you may have someone else in your sphere of, Facebook fans, followers, friends, or even YouTube followers that can benefit from this. So, I am Marcia Whyte. I'm the founder and chief content officer for GratitudeSpeak, which is a life and business practice that I operate. And it's not about sitting around the campfire singing Kumbaya and making every day just a super happy day. No, not at all. But the name itself speaks to the fact that I push myself and my clients to find the good in things so that they can move those mountains or go around them or climb over them, or whatever it is that they need to do to get to the next level in their life and business. And so, having said that, I want to read a little poem that most of you all, it's 4 sentences. Most of you all have probably heard it, even shared it at some point, but it just kind of begs the point of today's personal development lesson. Okay, and it says, your mind is a garden. Your thoughts are the seeds. You can grow flowers or you can grow weeds. Now, what does that mean? That means that we are responsible for tending to whatever gets in here. All right? No one controls this but us. Now, having said that, that's an awesome responsibility for those who may not have considered it. When you think about the messages that we are constantly inundated with, especially in this digital age where as soon as somebody says something, it's on social media. We have TVs on our phones and on our computers and on our tablets. So we're never far from a news source or something happening in the area. We know about it, almost real time, which is very interesting to me. Sometimes it's a good thing, and other times it's like the worst thing that ever happened. But no matter what, it all affects what happens here. And what you have to understand, my friends, is this is valuable real estate. This area between your ears, valuable real estate. You need to guard that zealously. What does that mean? That means that you need to have filters and protections in place, because if things don't serve you, for instance, people that know me well offline know that I don't really participate in gossip. I don't think it serves a purpose. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. And I went through all that when I was young and got it all out of my system. And obviously, I didn't often participate in it as a younger woman. It just didn't serve my purposes. I was too, as I've been recently called, driven about advancing myself in different areas to give a lot of credence to those who have time, to do nothing more than sit around and dog somebody out. It's just not how I'm wired, all right? But I didn't realize it then, but I was really guarding the valuable real estate between my ears, my mind. There's is it the United Negro College Fund? This is the slogan for many years was, the mind is a terrible thing to waste. It really is. But yet we allow people to waste our time because we allow garbage in the garden. We allow any old kinds of seeds. We don't check to see if this stuff is expired. In other words, it's past its prime. The news that they're bringing to us, whether it's on television or whether it's somebody running to say, hey, I got this big juicy scoop. Hey, Sean, if it doesn't serve you, let it go. All right? Don't let just anybody infiltrate in here. It's a mind game. It's a mindset. It's a conscious choice. It's a decision that you have to live with the consequences of far more than you give credence to, and long past when the people that have poured the junk into your mind, I've gone on and tried to poison the next person. And so when it says your mind is a garden, your thoughts are the seeds, you can grow flowers, which are beautiful and fragrant, and they have different purposes. They're different species for people who are driven or attracted to color, all right? Because color stimulates different senses, creativity and calmness and the ability to relax and the ability to learn and enjoy nature and all of those things. Thanks for the love. I appreciate it. But flowers also teach us about having deep root systems. In other words, to be of substance, to have something to really bring to the table in every conversation and in every situation that we show up in. I don't care if it's around the family dinner table or around the lunch table at work or around the boardroom table. All right? Doesn't matter. If your roots are deep within whatever your subject matter is, your industry news, your industry trends, I constantly read. Sometimes I get so caught up in something and I read different genres. This is my best tool besides my phone yet. My Kindle, all right? This is my second one. I just kind of blew through the first one a few years ago and I was just like always on it. But it's wonderful because I can carry so many different books, because there are times when I want to make sure that what's going on in here is best to serve you, best to serve my clients, best to serve myself, because I deserve that too. And that's another lesson, about self-care. I was recently with a client and I had recommended a book to deal with a situation that she is dealing with. And interestingly enough, it was a book that I had just started, but it was of such value to me. I thought, well, this kind of goes with her situation. She has passed me up in the reading. And I said, well, that's great, but I sometimes have to reread the same passage or the same chapter until I get it right. And I don't allow myself to move on to the next chapter just for the sake of saying, oh yeah, I read that book. If that is resonating with me, or if I'm having a difficult time really absorbing it and making sure that it is deeply rooted, the lesson that I'm to learn, I ask God to keep me there until I get it right. Then I'm ready to move to the next level. Now that doesn't work for everybody, but it's about sowing this. It's about planting and tending and then sowing the seeds and reaping the benefits of what is in my garden, because my mind is my garden. And guess what? That's a cherished resource. People understand, people appreciate, people recognize, people respect when you are knowledgeable. Does that mean that you have to be a brainiac? No. Does that mean that you have to be a nerd? No. Does it mean that you have to be the smartest person in the room? No. In fact, if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to go find a new room, because that means that there's nobody in there that can teach you anything. And that's probably more in your mind than it is in actuality. The point is, if you want to show up powerfully in your life, in your home, in your community, in your workplace, in your business, wherever it is that you are called to serve, please, ma'am, please, sir, don't be letting just anybody in here. Don't be sowing the weeds and putting the trash in. You don't have to get a Kindle, though I highly recommend them, because I can literally have hundreds of books at my fingertips. And I have devotional books, and I have, books on coaching, because there's always room for improvement. I have books on other subjects that I am, like business books. so that I'm constantly being able to improve my internal processes, and I position myself that I can have at least a cursory knowledge of how things work, so that it's less likely that I'm taken advantage of, which is, just a nugget for good measure there. And then I also have what's called mindless dribbles. Sometimes they're comedies, sometimes they're romance novels, but the thing is, it doesn't matter if I finish them, because whether it's 2 weeks, 2 days, or 2 years later, I know it's going to be a happy ending. So, sometimes I just kind of need that assurance. So the point is, I make it a personal mission to protect the garden, the mind, all right? Because that's all I have. Once you lose your mind, it's very difficult to get it back. And I say that with absolutely no jest in my voice. I'm very, very serious. Our thoughts control everything that we do. They shape our opinions. They shape our behaviors, they shape our procedures and our processes, and we let too much stuff in. We let too many people infiltrate this nonsense. I mean, people are turned off by all the vitriol and hatred that we have in our country, but you know why it keeps coming up? Because that stuff sells. I don't care if it's, politics. I don't care if it's religion. I don't care if it's the law. I don't care what the subject is. You're always going to have people that don't agree with you. That's fine. That's expected. Healthy dialogue is good. We need to engage in it. That's the only way that we make progress. But when we get to the point that we are taking all that stuff home, making it a personal issue, please, ma'am, please, sir, hear me when I tell you, it is not worth it. Because they have moved on to the next target, they have moved on to the next subject, the next rally, the next whatever, and you are stuck with all this stuff, all this garbage, all this junk that you then have to come in and weed out. And, I get a manicure, so I don't do like gardening outdoor work. That's just not my jam. But I've seen people do it, and I have done it on occasion. My husband loved gardening, but, they always say opposites attract. But my point is, raking up, mucking up, tilling, all that stuff, that's hard work. I want to make my journey as easy and as profitable as I can, both for me and those people that I'm called to serve. I'm not above it. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm not above doing what is necessary to keep the weeds and the garbage and the junk out of my very precious garden, my mind. But I also guard it zealously. I also make sure as often as I can, I'm very diligent about it. I'm very intentional about it. I'm very committed to it, to make sure that people, and sometimes it's cost me friendships, and I'm okay with that. You can't bring just anything to me. You can't bring somebody else's mess. That doesn't mean that I don't have a listening ear and that I don't have compassion or empathy. But you can't come every time I see you coming, it's with a new sob story, or you're coming with, gossip and dirt on somebody else. I'm just over the whole hating thing. There's too much positive stuff that is waiting to be embraced and shared. And if I can be a vehicle for that, then I'm all about it. Because at the end of the day, I got to go to sleep and put this thing to rest, because I have to get up another day and show up the best that I've been created to be. And if I miss that mark, it'll be on me, not because I've got infiltrated with junk. So, again, your mind is a garden. Your thoughts are the seeds. You can grow flowers or you can grow weeds. It's a cute little poem, a little ditty that you can keep in your head. I've had it on my phone for years. But when you look at it at its most visceral, basic, core level, it is a monster lesson on the importance of guarding your mind, guarding your heart, and making sure that other people respect those boundaries. And that, my friend, comes from you. And when you get your head wrapped around that and commit to that on a consistent basis, things in your life will begin to line up, and things in your business will begin to line up. Because even if they don't like it, people will always respect folks that they know they can't run over. That doesn't mean they're going to stop, trying to run over somebody else. But, they'll read your sign and be like, dude, right here, no more. No closer. You got to keep your distance from me, because I'm just not about that. That's why I can show up in a space and a company called GratitudeSpeak, because I look for the good. I ain't got to look far for the bad. You feeling me? I choose to look for something different, because whatever we seek I promise you, you're going to find it. So that's our word for today, personal development from poetry. As always, I invite you to a discovery call with me. It's 30 minutes on the house, if you will, if you're interested in fleshing out your situation a little bit in life and business. I can see how best to support you. And if it's not a good fit, I will tell you that too, because it's more important for me that you get the right help. And if I'm not the right person, at the very least, I can tell you everybody else doesn't operate. A lot of people don't operate like that. They're free to do it their way, but that's how I roll. Always in integrity, always with authenticity. So if you'd like to do a discovery session, and I really would enjoy, talking to you, at least I can get a feel for how you are, who you are, and vice versa. There may be other synergies for us. Click that book me link and get on my calendar. It's Eastern time, so make the adjustment accordingly wherever in the world you are. And then join my private Facebook group where I'm going to be starting very soon, changing the direction of it. It's called GratitudeSpeak Collaborates. That's the bottom bit.ly link. You are more than welcome to participate in there, where I will be showing up more live and growing and engaging that community, so it can only stand to benefit you. So again, thanks for watching. Remember, as always, until we meet again, there is always a reason and an opportunity to show kindness and give gratitude. So make it your mission today and every day to go out there and do just that. I appreciate you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.